Do I get to do that? Yeah?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello. I was like, why is it not clicking over? Well, it helps if you click the right thing.
Oh my goodness, I'm already nervous about this whole
Yeah?
thing with my, substitute director.
Your substitute director. What did you...
Joshy.
Oh, with Joshy. Oh, well, he'll be fine. I mean, jeez. Y'all be understanding, right? Would you sit down?
I'm busy. I cleaned today, and see, cleaning makes you ugly.
Well, it makes her very unhappy. It makes me happy. Like, I feel completed, but, not her.
Yeah, that is my feeling.
Happy Sunday, everyone. We're going to do little Sunday surmises because we did not have Thursday thoughts. Because P was getting her teeth yanked out of her head.
Odd.
Poor thing. Your face is fine. It's still a little puffy, but it's better.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt. That's the main thing.
This is P over here.
M over there.
Patricia.
Mariah.
And together,
we are PM Artist Studio.
But I will tell you this. Her sense of humor, other than her little meltdown this morning with her necklace because she was trapped in a situation. She's actually been quite pleasant and a little more chuckly. I think she was not feeling well and not even realizing it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Take care of your hand, Darcy. I know you said you'd...
What'd you do?
Goodness, she pulled the ligament.
Oh, how?
And not tore it, but yeah, gamekeeper's thumb, possibly.
Oh, well, magnesium.
She's thinking...
I'm telling you...
everything.
Magnesium.
All right, so... We're going to do some Sunday surmises. Are you going to do your surmises or are you going to show your stuff first? What do you want to do?
Well, I think I should surmise first.
Yes, that's usually what we do.
Yeah, I'll just kind of spread this out and put my other stuff on top of it.
Perfect. She did clean up, though. Like, she's new paper down. Some piles have been dealt with. Love it. Oh, we need to say good morning, everybody. God, I'm sorry. I'm a little off. I'm off. Please say hello in the chat so I can say hello back. Otherwise, I do not know that you were here. But if you want to hang out and, not be known, that's totally fine, too. Hang out in the background, but do give those thumbsy upsies. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already because, we're well on our way to, hopefully 7,000 the next thing. And then we'll give away some things and, good stuff. Hoopty-doopty-doo.
Hoopty-doopty-doo. Oh, I lost my listening.
YouTubey-doopy-doo. All right. Let's see, we've got Anthony Cody is here. Arkansas Crazy Quilter. That's Dawn. Becky Borkren. Becky. Betsy, Candy, Carrie, Colleen, Darcy, Devin. That's Yolan. Eddie, Estella, Fran. Griffin Shell, that's Rhonda. Isabel, Jamie, Jeanette, a.k.a. Jeanette. Kathy, Carrie Phillips, Lisa, Marta, Mary Ellen, Maya, Mitzi, Nightbot's here. Shell, she's the one dropping in info via our moderators. Patricia Lee, Hancock, Quirky Queens, that's Kirsten, Respect Design, that's Akiko. Ricky Nordmeyer, SAG, that's Sarah. Sandy, Scraps to Beauty by Zandra, we call her Z. Silver Granny or Grumpy Gnome, that's Lynn and Grumpy. Sonia, Star Traveler, that's Linda. Susie Allen, SWL, that's Sherry. Texture Junkies, that's Sharon. The Shelly Studio, that's Margle. And then we have Trish Coogan to top it all off. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. I feel like we should kind of start it again. I felt a little, rushed and, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you write stuff and then it's like if you don't go ahead and act on it and express it at the time, it loses some of its intensity. So you have to understand, I was writing these things Wednesday before my tooth thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, I'm going to kind of have to get back into it because I was really feeling it then.
Yeah.
But, maybe it is good to back off things a little bit.
I think that's true because you get a little heated and you get intense.
Yes.
Oh, I do too, but not as much as you do.
That is very true.
It got watered down in this generation.
Yeah.
Intensity.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, so, usually stuff doesn't bother me. I kind of just blow it off and, go on my merry way, and I don't know how I don't necessarily stuff it. I just channel it to something else,
Well, really, it's more of a blocker.
Well,
It just gets
that
blocked.
road's blocked, so I have to take another one.
Yeah.
And I guess that's okay. But I really, I just felt like I had to work through this. And I don't know that necessarily this is going to be helpful to any of you, but it's going to be helpful to me. So, there is that. All right. So we've been getting some negative feedback on the YouTube thing. There's been some comments that were made to members during their YouTubes that were very inappropriate. No one in our group, just some, random person who...
The haters on the YouTube.
I don't know what they troll.
But a lot of times I will, and then I try not to tell P because she does take it real, she gets real fired up about it. But, I do read those of you that hang out with us. I read other comments just to kind of see, our people that show up here. I like to see how you guys are interacting and sort of the things that are going on. So I read the other comments on other people's videos. And sometimes I'm like, holy cow. I just, and it's usually random people, ones we don't know.
Yeah.
Because y'all that show up, we love you, and obviously you love us, and you keep coming.
So we assume all is well.
Yes.
Unless otherwise.
Yes. We don't know what we don't know.
We don't. And very good. That leads into what's going on here.
Perfect.
Okay. And my whole thing about it is usually, and I will tell Izzy this, I will say, honey, when somebody's ugly to you, it's not you, it's them.
Yeah.
They don't feel good about themselves, so they're having to make you feel bad so they'll feel better kind of situation. Yeah. And I kind of think maybe that's part of it.
I think so.
And I don't have an answer to that. I'm not in control of that. The only thing I can control is me. And I'm wanting to feel better about that. So I told Mariah, I said, you know what I'm going to look up? I'm going to look up the word forgiveness. And just type it in and see what happens. Well, I want you to see this page.
I need to go topside then. Do you want me to go topside?
Well, no, not necessarily.
Okay,
what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to Mariah, and she's going to add it to our blog.
Blog.
Because if you look up the word forgiveness, you get things from the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins University, University of California, Berkeley, Washington Post, Psychology Today, NPR, the New York Times. And I think that's a broad spectrum of different sources. And basically, I read all these articles.
Yeah.
But basically, and the reason I chose the one I did is because it sort of synopsized everything else. The main thing was, you're not doing it for the other person. You're doing it for yourself and your health. Because people who hold and retain anger and resentment...
Hey, don't get me wrong. Sam's Club. I hold on to some things. Some things drive me. I just try to be aware of those, but then let go of the other things and forgive them.
There you go. Sam, you're still on the
Sam's Club, you're still on the list. You wouldn't let me get my booze.
Okay. So, anyway, that's basically where I'm going with this is I just feel like that as artists, we are a special class in and of ourselves. We deal with a lot of things through our art. That it is our form of therapy. Well, not everybody has that.
Yeah.
They don't have that. And I think it's as ambassadors to the world, it's our job to let people know, hey, if you're really mad and angry and whatever, sit down and just scribble a bunch of black stuff on the paper. Boy, it's a release. Some people go out and run around the block or, I don't know, whack a tennis ball.
Dig
whatever.
in your garden.
Well, I don't think you should garden angry. You might.
You're passing that along into the soil.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your plants are not going to like that. I think plants sense that stuff. Okay.
That could also explain some things.
And it is very necessary to realize that we all make mistakes. Everybody here screws up something, whatever. In personal relationships, it can be devastating if it's not taken care of. All right, so that's my preface, and I'm going to read you this article. Then I'm going to show you my tags.
Okay.
I'm really proud of my tags. Okay. So just hang in here with me, those of you that want to see some art. Trust me, it's coming.
This is Sunday Surmises. We're surmising.
We're surmising. I missed Thursday Thoughts. Forgiveness has a PR problem. Think about all those useless idioms used to describe it. Stuff like forgive and forget, turn a blind eye, let bygones be bygones. With that kind of cheesy advice, no wonder so many people travel through life dragging a steamer trunk full of resentments. Further complicating the issue is when and where we first learn about the concept, says Anna Hollope, a forgiveness author and peace educator for more than 2 decades. For most of us, she says, we're taught what we call traditional forgiveness when we're 4 or 5 years old on the playground. Someone does something to us. The person is told to apologize. We're instructed to say, that's okay. Then we grow older. And more things that are really traumatic happen, then maybe it's not okay. Hollope says. So we live with these feelings of fear and revenge sometimes, and anger. And then we hold that for the rest of our lives unless we find a way to unwind it and let it go. Contrary to popular opinion, the practice of forgiveness is not about condoning or making excuses for unfair treatment and others' hurtful behaviors. It's not about getting an apology or a show of remorse from the offending party. And despite what's portrayed in films, novels, poems, and love songs, it's not necessarily about reconciliation. Granted, reconnecting with loved ones can be a wonderful byproduct of forgiveness, but it's not a requirement or even a goal in some cases, especially if doing so would subject you to more harm. Here's the big reason I'm reading this article right here. Excuse me. I can't do alcohol today because I'm taking antibiotics. The expanded version of forgiveness that I love to teach is a deep, soul-level letting go of our past, our sorrow, our suffering, says Hollope. And we do that because we want to be free. We do that because we want to be healthy and we want to have a peace of mind. Without forgiveness, accumulated resentments extract a toll, says forgiveness coach Kim Kennedy. Those emotions turn into disease, she says. We stuff it, and that becomes toxic. It turns dysfunctional. Kennedy became a certified forgiveness coach in 2008 after reading Radical Forgiveness by the late Colin Tipping. His method is just one way to practice forgiveness, which, by the way, has been shown to improve mental health. These takeaways are inspired by Tipping's work. Tell your story. I know a lot about this because I started going to Al-Anon with my second husband. And it was because of some family issues with him. But what I've discovered there was I kind of had some residual things going on there in my life that, I really hadn't thought about. And it was an eye-opening experience. So Al-Anon it doesn't cost. You don't have to pay to go to Al-Anon. So, if you want some cheap therapy, I suggest that's a place to go. And even if you don't have any alcoholics in your family, it's a good place to go.
Meet some people of,
and yeah.
They have donuts and coffee.
They have donuts and coffee. Tell your story. That's number 1. Dissect the offending behavior and how it affects you. Spew it all out, the anger, the hurt, the bitterness, all the ugly, gory feelings you've been carrying inside of you. You have to get it out of your system, says Kennedy. While traditional forgiveness wants you to pretend you're not angry or hurt by someone's behavior, actual forgiveness begs that we honor all of these raw emotions. One quick note of caution. When doing this work, move only at a comfortable pace for you, and seek professional help if you need it. Holub, who wrote the book Forgive and Be Free, teaches a blend of forgiveness approaches, suggesting ways to prepare for this step. Number 1, turn off your phone, get rid of distractions, and create a space of privacy. Ideally, she says, choose someone to play witness, someone who can listen with compassion without judgment. Otherwise, you can do it on your own by speaking your story out loud or writing it all down. Holub says when the anger starts to bubble up, dive deeper. Ask yourself, what's underneath that anger? Holub calls anger a secondary emotion, one that guards our more vulnerable feelings such as grief, fear, abandonment, and disappointment. So make sure to give yourself permission and time to dig really deep underneath to unearth whatever your anger is hiding. Feel the feelings. This can be hard. Close your eyes and evoke the event that's causing you pain. Let it bubble up without intellectualizing, turning off your thinking brain. Cry it out or scream it out if it's anger. Get a pillow, beat the sofa with it. Just get that energy out of the cells of your body. Don't be surprised if the excuse triggers memories of other times in life when you felt abandoned, betrayed, or similarly hurt, Holub says. Forgiveness work often uncovers behavior patterns that we don't see in ourselves, especially when we're blaming others for our pain. By exposing the obvious and the less obvious roots of our own reaction to others, we begin to see a different way to respond. Number 3. This is sometimes very hard for me. Bring a fresh lens to your story. Re-examine the perceptions of life that have trapped you in the role of victim. A situation you may have misinterpreted as a child can taint your important adult relationships, Kennedy says. Putting an adult lens to a child-centered woundedness can provide a clearer perspective of hurtful events, one that frees us to discard that old story and replace it with a less judgmental and perhaps more accurate one. That can lead to reconnections with forsaken loved ones. But Holub says, beware that your ego may fight to maintain the destructive stories that create separation in our lives, like, my relationships never work out, or I can't trust anybody. When we do forgiveness, what we're doing is we're unwinding that intense pressure of the ego to stay separate, Holub says. Number 4, reframe your story. Instead of viewing the offending behavior as something done to you, imagine there's something bigger at play, that its true purpose is to reflect something inside you that's ripe for healing. Kennedy says, imagine looking in a mirror and seeing a smudge on your face. To clean off the smudge, you don't start wiping the mirror. Rather, you clean your face. Remember, forgiving someone is not about them and their behavior. It's about you and your well-being. I do it for me, Kennedy says. I do it to ease my sensibilities. I don't want to be upset. I don't want to be walking around pissed off. I just don't. So I do it to get that energy out of my system. Integrate the learning and express your gratitude. This is a good one. Purging. I love that word. Purging resentment.
I do too.
Grudges and all that other negative juju is something to embrace and celebrate. Kennedy says whenever she finishes a round of forgiveness work, she seals her newfound peace with a brisk walk or deep breathing exercises. Hope says she fills the newly opened space in her heart with gratitude for all she has learned. Pardon me. We're here to learn lessons, and even from the most horrible things that have ever happened, there are treasures, and we can find them. We can learn from them, she says. We can say, yes, I want to keep the lesson. I want to let go of the pain. And it is possible through forgiveness practice to do this. I just thought that was a really, really good one. And this was a podcast produced by Andy Taggle at NPR. And I would invite you to go over there and perhaps listen to it again.
That's on your list?
It is on my list. Yes, it is.
Can you highlight that one? And then I'll make sure that when I create the little blog thing, I say this is the one that was read.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I will do that. That's a good idea, Ron.
Okay, good. It kind of froze on some people at a certain point, but it quickly refreshed.
Okay.
Probably just a buffering thing, or who knows, who knows. And welcome to those of you that are coming in. I didn't want to, he was in her zone, reading all nice and right. And,
Yeah.
That.
I don't know. I just, I think if you ever get to a point in your life where you think there isn't anything else that you have to learn about the world or yourself, that you're in a bad place.
Well, that was even something you posted the other day about that whole, learn new things.
It keeps your brain active. And I remember when I was, it was about 5 years before I actually retired, so I don't know. I decided I needed to take some Spanish classes because I was sucking air. They were sending me kids to my classroom that did not speak English. I mean, none. And sometimes they could have the Spanish-speaking aide come with them, but there were other times when she had other obligations because they shared her. Some of the decisions made in education should be made by educators, not idiots in some political office.
Well, yeah. People that it's just
yeah,
a job.
actually know what the hell's going on. Mm-hmm. But it was, oh my gosh, it was traumatic, and I was so frustrated because I just wanted all to be there right now, so that I could just. And of course, it isn't. But I learned that learning when you're that age, a foreign language, is you have to work at it every single day. And you have to just really buckle down and try it. And you have to be willing to have people laugh at you because you say things that are weird that you don't think you are when you're really, using Spanish words to express something. And the children would laugh at me. But we kind of laughed together. And I think what it said to those children, and it will say this to someone else when you are learning something new, you care enough about who I am to take that.
Mm-hmm.
That is important.
Do you want me to go topside?
I do.
Okay.
Because I'm done with that. We're arting now.
Okay, good. Look at that colorful yum there. And I helped. Sort of. In case you didn't know it was a salmon.
And yeah, just in case. Well, okay, it was. I'm going to explain to you why salmon occurred down there. Because when we cut these things, they weren't all the same, right? I mean,
not exact.
Yeah, okay. Well, I ended up down here, and you can see, okay, I had a lot of space over here, not much here. So I was going to have some weird things, and I just decided to embrace the weirdness and
yes,
go across here with one color and write the word Sam. Because this is kind of an off card. Then I took and did a strip of yellow on the top and the bottom. But I just think that is just the coolest ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the cat, the panther.
Big cat.
Yeah. Puma, whatever. All right, so Miriam said, I really wanted you to do some other things than just stripes. Well, Miriam, here it is. I want you to look real carefully. You
She
notice
said, yeah, I'm only doing one of those.
I'm only doing one of those. It's a pain in the padootie, and and you could, yeah, I didn't like that.
And I told her, I said, yeah, that reminds me a lot like when we were doing our deck. See, we were going to have,
Do a wishbone?
well, it was herringbone is,
Yeah.
what it's called, pattern with the deck boards. That was if we were paying somebody to do it. But then we couldn't get anybody out here. And so Brad and I were like, okay, well, we're not leaving the deck because the framing was done. It was ready to go. But we just couldn't get anybody out here. It wasn't that. It was just, it was really busy. It was like, prime building time. Plus, people didn't want to work outside if they could be working inside because it's hot. It's Texas. So we were kind of looking at it. And I said, well, I think, A, we're going to, number one, need less material.
Yeah, because you do waste a lot of
It's
boards.
a lot of waste. And B, we will be able to get it done ourselves and faster. So, it's straight boards. We did a couple breaks, like, we ran them the other direction, which looks pretty cool out there, instead of it all just being, so I thought that was pretty, that was kind of but they're still straight.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole thing.
Well, it's just, if you want to piece those things together and do that kind of thing, go right ahead. And see, I used my edgers, and these are still the old ones. Nobody's made me any new ones, so these are just the old eraser.
Yeah.
Eraser version.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. So I took these colors, I put down some little strips, and I think I had to add a little pink to it. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And then I stamped them.
I just think they're so cool. I need to do the edges of them.
Yes, because that's not something that I do very. Yeah. The places where the white's still showing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And the cut job here is kind of wonky too. That's Mariah. That's why it takes two of us to do these. But I was pretty proud. Now I did get a little carried away with that one right there. But Mariah will be able to fix that. And look at that nice.
Do you want it to be? Do you want me to come in with the black marker, or do you want me to make the edges colorful too? Because I can.
Oh, I don't know. I'll totally leave that up to you. I don't have a preference.
Okay.
But anyway, I have a whole lot of that left over. Have a whole lot of strips left over because what I really, and then I was going through stuff. Look, I even kept all those little jobbers. Because you never know when a little bit's just what you need. I'm serious. And I found this. Sorry, Eddie, it didn't make it into the...
You want that little piece?
Yeah.
I told him, I don't know if you read my comment on his video.
She said to throw some of that away, and I also, you saw mine. I gave her comment a thumbs down.
You did?
I gave your comment
Hater.
a thumbs down, and I said, Eddie, don't you be throwing any that stuff away.
Some of that was ridiculous.
My spirit.
Some of that was ridiculous.
I don't think Eddie thought any of it was ridiculous.
Well, he's sweet.
He
I'm
is.
sure he did off camera, like this crazy lady.
See? He knows the value of all those little things. All right, so Mariah told me I really needed to deal with some stuff. And I'm dealing with stuff, and I don't know who gave me this, but I love this.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember. Because, see, we were starting, like, I think it was, a lot of that stuff came in, like, during your birthday, and then, like, we had some other stuff, and it was like, oh, my gosh.
Oh, and when we were doing the new website stuff, and we had all of those stencils backed up to... I mean, remember, I had these many.
I think that's Julie I feel like that's Julie Torrance.
Well, I really love it, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do what she was doing there with painting on those things, because I think this is really cool. And then I'm going to kind of smoosh it around and use it maybe for this. But then I found this stuff. And I'm like, holy...
I know that. I'm pretty sure that's Julie Torrance right there.
Well, I kind of think it is, because remember, I put some ATCs over there that I found stuff down in the box, too, that need to go into the folder.
Yes, and then this is obviously Violet.
Yes, and...
We need to make hats. That's what these are for.
I know it is. Right. Yes, tea party hats.
Yes.
But anyway,
and
I just thought...
the drinking tea party.
These look so cool with the tags. So, I'm not giving these tags away, because this business with these tags has inspired a whole new journal. This is how I approach journals.
Eddie's saving it all. Well, that's very sweet of you to say, and if you want to throw things away, you can. Just know that you have my permission.
Anything that's white paper, you can throw away.
has paint on it.
If it has paint on it, you have to keep it.
Mm.
All right. Now, I don't have no
Hi,
idea
Barbara.
what we are doing today because I have been cleaning. See, that's what happens. I've been cleaning. Oh, and also, Tommy Ann, I have been working on my
June project.
June project, and I must say,
Swap at me.
I'm not going to say anything because it's going to be so cool and it's going to be weird and wonderful.
We would never expect anything less.
I know, but it's even weird for me. I mean, it's not something that Mariah and I did this one thing once. It was kind of like this, but it's been a long.
What are you
time.
talking about? Like the women's
stories that go?
the
go with.
women's journal kind of thing?
Yeah.
We'll
And
bust
it's
that out
in a
one of
box up there somewhere.
We'll bust that out one of these days. Still not quite ready for that, but
Yeah. Uh-oh. I think
it's
I
quite
picked up.
fantastic.
I picked up more than I intended to pick up here. And left behind some things that...
There'll be a time when that is, I think, truly something that we need to explore more.
Yeah, and this is kind of getting into that because it's dealing with, well, I don't want to talk about it because I want you all to...
Gayla says, weird and wonderful. I aspire to be called that. That's why we like you, Gayla.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you fit in with this crew. Okay, so I loved it today. Brad, I think I frustrated the dog do out of him. He says, I want you to write down what these are called, okay? And I said, I will do it. So here's my little piece of paper. See, I tore it off. These are my little things that I save over here when I'm chopping off things. This is a set of 9. And the theme is Memories Japan. So this is kind of a little bit of, oh yes, this
Paula.
is so,
These are by Paula King.
yes, kimono patterns. This, you will see this a lot.
Oh, perfect timing, Paula.
Little pagoda style building
I
here.
gotta put a scarf or something on.
Some little,
Freezing.
some little, what you call seals. Some nice little hokusai style waves. Well, I'll tell you what, the
I guess
sticky stuff was pretty.
yeah, I sprayed some mats, so yeah, they're a little stickier than normal.
And I wish, do we know what this says?
I think she told me, Paula, you're here. What does that say? What is it? And I hope she has it going the
Is
right
it
way.
gate?
I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I do. I like this. I like this because I can use this in a lot of situations. I really like that. That reminds me of Franz Urchin. I like the ginkgo leaf. A bunch of little fans here. Could also be deco. Oh, I like this. That's really nice.
And that-
Cherry blossoms.
A little sweet.
It's very, very, very quintessentially
Yes.
we think of that. All right. There we go.
And I think that wave one, actually, we should think about making that into bigger ones, too.
I think that would be an absolute, yeah. And I would like a pattern with ginkgo leaves also.
I think she has that, actually.
Oh.
I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh.
Or we haven't.
Well, I like this a lot. I will be keeping these in my little handy dandy
Yeah.
place over here. Okay, set of 9 ATC's
Foo,
theme.
the fortune symbol. It's foo.
Foo. Oh, okay. The other one that I liked was gate. Symbol for gateway. I can't remember what it is. I have a katakana chart somewhere. Oh, things are getting... Ooh!
That's funny, Eddie.
What?
It says foo means something else in my language.
Well, if you add an IE on it, it can be something else too. All right. Well, this is called Marrakesh.
Yes, this one's by Rhonda. Griffin
by-
shell here in the chat.
Yeah.
I
Boy,
love
that's
this.
some.
Now, Rhonda, we did alter it because it is a step and repeat pattern. So we filled it to the 9x12, 8x10, and 5x7. She kind of had it like short, but then I told her, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's like a full on step and repeat, which it was. So it was very easy to extend the pattern, which means you could do that yourself too. Like if you lined them up, you could just keep going. That's what
It's
a step and
I
repeat
call
is.
it tiling.
Yeah.
That's the word we used when we were using design terminology. I like this little.
Not all of our stuff is that way,
No.
even if it looks like it's repetitive.
It's slightly off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
And I like the
legit.
slightly off. All right, Marrakesh. All usual sizes by Rhonda. All right. Okay, here we go.
No, Josh isn't with us today.
Yes, family things going on, and now I think where have I seen this before?
On Fran's stream. She uses it. She's used it.
All right, it's called a perspective view.
Yes.
You understand? 1 point. Is it right? Would that be 1 point perspective?
Francis on my
I hate perspective things. I don't like them.
her brain doesn't work that way.
I don't deal with anything that does, simply because I think
I struggled with perspective drawing.
I
I
just
didn't
think-
enjoy that very much.
I don't necessarily think it's a very creative pursuit. And what I'm actually kind of happy about is I've got this, so this can, yeah. And you don't have to just have it one way. You can flip it and have it going both ways, and do your own thing there.
Kind of trippy.
I'm sure that Fran wouldn't mind if you did that. Okay, so now those are that's the mask. Oh, and this part here is interesting. Oh yeah. If you use that and then you also, I think she did something like this. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Fran always uses her outer bits and whatnot.
Yeah, layer them in there. You can have some really interesting effects taking place. Now I'm going to have to play with this off camera
And then
before
we have
I
to,
start.
each week we'll be working on getting some more of these out, obviously. But then, remember, we will be out of, Brad and I, along with Izzy and her cousin, will be on the cruise from the 19th through the 25th. And so, no new stencils will come out during that particular week, but we're going to try to get kind of everything caught up prior to that, which means this next week. We're going to do our best to get out, what we can. And then, we have more coming up in July. We've got a couple of things that, like Darcy's working
I
on.
know what to do today.
We've got some new ones from Susan that are coming out. What are you doing?
I'm going to use some oldies today. Well, they're not oldies, but I haven't used them before.
Is that what we got over there?
Frog. Oh, well, I'm going to pull these prints because I need the plate.
Okay.
And you had your chance to do this.
Not really, because you don't call me up here, but fair enough.
Well, every time I thought about it, it was either late at night when the light sucks,
Yeah.
or, I was busy doing something else. And I didn't want you up here looking at me. Well, I'll
Sure.
tell you what.
Yeah, it's been a
When you have to do this, it's plate cleaning time, folks.
It has sucked all the oil out of it.
No, I mean, you can still get a print, but look what I'm doing to the paper there. But I absolutely love this, and I can tell you exactly what colors I used on this.
Christy, all you have to do is, if you use any of those hashtags in the chat, it will then make that prompt come up from Nightbot. So those are just some of the regular ones that we typically use.
All right, let me roll this backwards here. Looks really good with the
Yeah, it
outfit
does.
today.
This is like spot on.
All right, this is copper, and then I pulled it with this stuff. I'm going to have to order some more of that because I'm almost out of some of them.
Robin, she likes to keep her gel plates on acrylic plates, so it's just easier for her to just pull it off
Yeah.
the paper and then roll it back. But yes, that does work. If you are one that does not, keep yours on an acrylic plate and you are one to pull it off and put it back on, yeah, pulling the plate from the paper versus the paper from the plate,
Yeah.
keeps it from rolling. But she's not that worried about it.
I don't care. Yeah. But yeah, I do know about that, and I do theoretically.
Yeah, that one was. It was.
But when that starts happening, it's telling you something. It's saying, I'm kind of dry here because that should have pulled off there really easy because there was plenty of paint.
Oh, the acrylic plates. They are. Hey, ready? About what an eighth.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. Some of them are thicker than others.
And I like the thick ones, but they're kind of high dollar. The thicker your plexiglass,
Yeah.
the more you're going to be paying for it. Why is this not coming off of there? There we go.
No. Well, in Makers there is, yes. But we were just talking about hashtags here in the chat are different. Yeah.
And that's on the back side. I'll just go ahead and give this a little rub down. Y'all don't mind me doing that, right? And I wanted to pull it online. So
This stuff. Oh, Fran wants to know. We couldn't read the label on the paint. This stuff. You said this stuff.
Oh, the reason you can't is because it was in a jar that had exploded. And
Black Flash, right?
Black Flash, but I added Liquitex iridescent medium afterwards because I don't know what had happened. The jar
I think it
that
got pressurized. Yeah, it kind of got
exploded has had a whole lot of kind of stiff stuff in there. So it's basically this dude right here, except it's the one you can see. It's got stuff all over it. It exploded in the mail. So I had to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I just, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I just like to, it's kind of, and besides that, you can feel with your fingertips where you might have paint that you didn't necessarily see. But, yeah. And it's, it's kind of good for your cuticles. You can rub it in. It's food grade. You can lick it off your fingers if you want to. And then just give it a quick wipe down because you want to get off excess. You don't want to grease up your paper. But you will see when you pull your next print, if you leave it on overnight, it will show up. It'll leave a pattern with the oil.
Yes, the bigger your plate, you definitely want to make sure that you are getting a thicker acrylic.
Yes.
Sheet, because the weight of it, as you're moving it around and whatever, because they will crack.
Yeah, the plates will crack. The acrylic plates, not this.
No, I don't think anything had been brewing in it or anything like that. I think there was just some pressurized something or other and it blurted out.
Yeah, because the lid was still intact, but it just had paint all over the place, and I didn't quite understand that. All right, let's see what we have here. No, I'm kind of, okay. All right, we've got our froggy things ready to go, but I've got one more to pull here.
Paula says she leaves tons of oil on hers overnight because she likes the joy of the selling of the paint, because it will create more of that crazing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, obviously this one needs some conditioning. When you start getting things that happen like that, that means you probably are about due for a... But isn't that wonderful? Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's four layers that you're seeing there. Okay, I'm not going to clean this plate right now, and I think we don't have to because I've got all of my little plates ready to go.
Oh, yes. I thought that was a brilliant idea and worth repeating for sure. So, Carrie says he liked that someone's idea from previous live where they suggested gluing or, or taping even two thinner plexiglass pieces together to make a thicker one. I think that would be brilliant. Like, you could just even use double-sided tape around the edge of it because, then that way you still have the clear in between and then they're connected.
Yeah. All right, so...
Thank you, Robin, and welcome.
I want to start working on some new, I don't know, tags, whatever. And I want to use my frogs. Well, they're not my frogs. This frog, whose frog is this?
That is, I believe that one is a Susan Dufresne.
Okay. And what I'm really focused on here, I'm focused on, where's my ruler? Look at my ruler, isn't this good? I took this thing off of the aluminum foil tear and glued it onto my little ruler. So she said that the tags no less than 3 by 5. So I think if I make this a 4-inch tag, I can get this little frog all in.
There you go. Hi, Leslie.
Yeah, and even if I wanted to have maybe one part of him going off the page a little bit, like, I don't know. Sometimes I think that's kind of cool.
Well, yeah, but
I could get it down to 3.
But you need to get the full frog.
Get the full frog and then decide that other stuff later.
Exactly.
Okay.
Don't limit yourself.
Oh, I love it. Yes, don't limit yourself. And I think I've got that down right, yes. Since this is his maiden voyage. So really what I'm going to try is 2 different things here. I'm going to try getting the frog down without anything so that right now the negative is what you would see. Here, let's turn it on. I don't know that that's going to be terribly effective, and depending on what color I decide. But I'm really thinking about a dark Prussian. So then the frog is going to be white.
Yeah,
or light.
His outline will be.
His outline will be. But not necessarily. If I don't pull that layer, I leave it, then I can add some color to the negative space of the frog because I'll still have that dark blue there that's going to probably take care of a whole lot of colors. Like I could come in with bright yellow and it's not going to change that Prussian blue all that much. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Well, let's just do it. Sit here yammering about this kind
That's
of
right.
stuff.
You're right.
I'm not supposed to blow my nose.
Oh, because of your teeth?
Because of the bone here. I don't want to blow my new bone into my navel cavity there. Something like that. I don't know exactly what that was, but you know.
So it's the upper.
Yeah. Prussian blue, open. I don't know. I don't really think we want open. I don't think it's called for. Where's my other Prussian blue? There's small ears and throat. Oh, that's a good one, but that's not the one I want right now. Oh, it looks like open is what I have in Prussian.
Well, you could use your Liquitex one.
I could, but that dries too fast. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do.
You got your Da Vinci fluid.
Oh, well, that might be what I need. Thanks,
Haven't used
Mariah.
that in a while. I mean, heck, I think you've only actually used it like once.
Yeah, it has one little bitty, okay, well, okay, so what I was gonna do here, if this happens,
Blanket or something.
find one of your blues that's really, you can turn the AC off.
I did, but it's still going. I don't know why I'm gonna mess with it. Hold on.
Okay, so we know this anthraquinone blue is really it dries very rapidly. So I could augment my openness on my Prussian by adding some of this. And you know why I think I'm going to do that rather than just use this? is because I think these two blues are kind of would be kind of interesting here. You know, kind of maybe ombre it a little bit. Okay, everybody on the page with me there? Let's try this. Oh, I should talk about how I achieved the background. Didn't even talk about that. Well, I think you already know because you've seen me do this. Oh, remember my cleanup mixture, which is transparent yellow red iron oxide. I added some iridescent matte medium, clean out mixture, and it has green gold in it. But it started out as, well, whatever this is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Transparent
I really don't trust this.
red iron oxide.
I mean, yes.
It has a whole bunch of different stuff in it.
Those things plus probably some others.
Just saying.
I found some socks. I might be stealing these. I like these.
Found socks?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I don't like them. They match my shirt.
Oh.
I don't think these fit you. They can't fit you very well. They seem small.
See, that's exactly what she says about the shirts that she takes over. I think this fits me better than it does you. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, well, whatever you have to use to rationalize stealing another person's stuff, you know, okay.
I don't think it's stealing if you're living in the same house.
It's not stealing it.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's
borrowing with the intent to own forever. Cheers.
It's a relocation.
Is this possession if 9/10 of the law?
No, I don't know. Not even, you know.
Okay.
Bye, Anthony.
Hey, I have to tell you what I did on my roller. I got all that stuff off of there and I kept it, but I don't know what I did with it.
Actually, before Anthony heads out, or it really, I mean, he can head out, but just so you guys know, over there in Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists Facebook group, that's our Facebook group, Anthony and Susan have posted, and then I have pinned it to the top, about their little art retreat thing that's going to go on, I believe, October 6th-ish. I think is what the dates were, 6th through the 8th or something like that. But yeah, the sign-up information is there. P really wants to go, but well, you can if you want. You just got to go along.
I know, but here's I don't know that I want to do that. I don't know that I want to deal with, you know, getting transportation. And
I know. See, she needs a travel buddy.
I do.
That takes care of all those things. She just kind of tells her where she needs to be. And
Yeah.
tell her that she's wrong when she thinks that she's right about which way you're going.
Yeah, because otherwise I'll end up in Mexico. And I think I'm going, you know, heading north.
Exactly, Colleen.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yes, Liberation and Relocation Program. For the clothing.
Isn't this interesting?
It's definitely got a froggy
Vibe going on, huh?
froggy vibe going on.
Now, if I can get that little booger off there without messing up.
You can do it. Look at you.
Pulling off his body parts.
Yeah, don't do that. That's going to be fab.
Okay, now we're going to let that mature. Bring in another one. Boy, I like those colors. Didn't you like those colors? That was the anthraquinone and the Prussian blue open. All right, now we've got a big plate here, and I'm not sure,
Now, these
again, who these little guys
these
are.
frogs are from Paula.
Okay, do you see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get them into a light place.
All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say Susan's.
All right, so I'm going to turn it over. See, I can still see that even though it is in that darker place. And I think that's going to work out okay. That little frog's looking up. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay, we've got another little frog.
Actually, what I'm going to do here, because I can do a search thing, and then I can copy that search into the... You can get all your frogs here.
Now, are these frogs from the same family?
Yes, those are. Those are Paulus, like the reptiles and the... Well, actually, I think that lower frog is a Susan frog.
Okay.
Actually, those two lower ones, I think, are Susan's frogs. And that big one at the top that you're handling right now, that's a Paula frog.
Okay, Paula frog is going to go up here with... And I'm cutting them in two.
Mm-hmm.
But I've just got all that lovely space up there, so I just feel like, I should really utilize that.
Yeah.
And we're going to go with the same color palette. The same colors. The golden quinacridone. And I'm going to try to use that down the middle here. And then the Prussian on the side. So we're going to have three different... Pardon me. Three different... this is going to be the quinone, and then I'm going to put Prussian on this side and Prussian on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm going to start with my quinone up here. Oh, I moved that little leg. Did you see that? Hope that's not a deal breaker there. And it's like I said on this, using the alternating ends to do things. I don't know that it makes a big deal difference, but somehow or other, I think it does, and I'm just going with that. Okay. Now, I need Big Bertha here. I'm just going to have to put this one aside, but I need to make sure I've gotten rid of that pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll kind of stay on there.
It'll stay on there. I don't want that.
Hey, Fidget. How are you? We're doing well. And those of you that are coming in, hello, hello. Please do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. If you want to hang out in the background, that's totally fine. But do give those thumbsy upsies.
Trying to really work that down in there, and it's not going in there very good.
And we love the comments, so keep the comments coming. If you're watching on replay, leave that down below or come back after. Leave some comments.
Okay, I'm souping it up a little bit because I'm having trouble getting stuff down in that next to that froggy's foot.
That Da Vinci stuff is very fluid.
It's loosey-goosey. There we go. Just needed to put some pressure on. Getting it down in there. All right. Getting some really nice indigo stuff going on here. Okay, where shall I start this little froggy?
Hi, Tanya. Welcome. Yes, it's the 6-inch burr. Actually, I think it's even a little bit bigger than 6 inches, but...
Yeah, it is. It's the one that, I think Lisa got this for me.
She did, for your birthday.
I think it's almost 8.
Is it?
Well, here, that's fine. It's not doing anything. It's not going to be... with the stuff, it's 8 inches.
Okay.
And it's a hard rubber. So you do have to use, you saw me using a little bit more pressure, but they don't make the soft rubbers in this size. And I'm assuming there's a reason for that, although I don't really know what it is. But I'm very happy with that, and I'm very happy that I have it.
Oh, those look great. It's going to be really interesting once you get that final layer on there to see, what fills in.
Yes. Okay, so we've got one more. Alrighty, let's see.
Yeah, and all of that was done. Okay, so did you talk about the backgrounds?
No, but maybe I should go ahead and do a background.
You should, because this has now been, love the patterns she has on the frogs now, and then,
Yeah.
That's all about the background.
Okay. Well, let's just do it on some of the little ones, and I'll just go ahead and save that.
Thank you, Rhonda.
So, I'm hard pressed to find one that doesn't have a bunch of mucky muck on it. Well, that one will be okay. It's got a little bit in the edges, but I think it'll be fine. All right, so remember, I told you, and that'll be great because these frogs need to dry for just a bit because they've got lots of stuff on them. Come on, little froggy. Grab hold there. And they do need to dry off before I put them back on the plate again. Okay. Remember this stuff. This is great stuff. Sometimes I put this down first, sometimes I don't. But it's loosey-goosey.
What is this stuff?
This is the clean-out mixture.
All kinds of things.
Yeah, watered-down paint that you're cleaning out. The thing that, is... And I've got another one coming up here that's going to be a clean-out, this Van Dyke Brown. Because it's just about ready to go. And let me see. I'm pretty sure I used some Jenkins. But we're also going to put a little... And remember, these are fluid. They're not quite as loosey-goosey as the ones with the pointy, this one. These are called High Flow.
Bye, Patricia.
And this is Phthalo Green Blue shade. Ooh. Lid's not on there very good. Oh, there may be a reason for that. This is one of my new ones, and I may not have even opened it. And I don't really need to. I shouldn't open this one. I'm going to close this up.
Where are you?
I've got it here in a small version on the cart. Yes, blue shade.
I don't think that has balls in it.
It doesn't.
Okay.
All right. Just the fact that you've got some different greens going on out here, that's what's important.
Variety.
Variety is the spice of life.
Darcy mentioned that to me yesterday.
Did she?
She did.
And I've got a really lovely indigo blue thing going on here, and I'm going to get rid of that because I like that. All right.
I'm seeing it's already kind of doing the little crazy thing. Crazing.
Yeah, and if it's not doing what you want it to do, what you do is you just kind of hang.
Look at it. Blow on it.
Then you can take, yeah, take your tools. This is kind of a cool little tool. And you can muss it about.
What is that tool? Oh, it's
I borrowed it from Izzy. I think it went with her
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm. When the grandkids come over, steal their tools.
Steal their stuff.
They're just gonna lose it anyway.
Seriously.
It just ends up in the bottom of a toy chest or bin or whatever.
Oh, Izzy came up today and said, "What did you tell me?" Oh, she said, "Gigi, I heard that you said that there was a reason that I couldn't use your brushes."
She said that today?
Mm-hmm. She said, "I watched one of your videos, and you said..."
When was she watching that? Her and Popsy must have been watching one. That's funny.
Isn't it?
I see. We better be careful. She's going to be coming back watching that stuff.
Boy, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just, I don't know, mess about with this as much as you want to.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the Zen thing with the sand. Little.
Now, I noticed this when Eddie got his package. And this is funny, Eddie. I wasn't going to watch it because Mariah said, there's probably going to be some stuff on there that you're sorry that you gave away, and there really was only one. I just messed up my brand new paper that I just put on this morning. I swear to God. Anyway, the only thing that I didn't know that I had given you was that one little thing that you said, well, this will make a good tag. But it was brown and gold, and it was a smaller... I didn't know that got in there, but I'm happy for you to have it. But it was a really...
when she said she was going to watch it, I was like, please don't.
Exceptional. I don't know. I've got that one line out there. I don't really like that.
You need the woofer thing. Oh.
See? Do you see that straight line going there? I don't know what it's from. It keeps wanting to reappear.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's something in the plate.
Well, I'll just rub on it long and hard. That'll fix it.
Something usually happens.
Okay, so let's turn it over and let's look at this side. See, that's nice.
Yes.
It's still light. You want to make sure that it's light enough that the darkest color you're going to put over it to make your froggies show up, it's going to allow that. So, you know, you should go a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
And even if you wanted to do something opaque at this point, let's try an opaque one.
Let's do it.
I don't really know, you know, what exactly that is going to entail, but I know I don't want the square stuff on here. So.
No.
Okay, well,
It looks like it's determined.
It might look like that they're froggies under that have
Specimens.
Yeah. And we would like for us not to look like... We want them to be swimming around in the... And this is from doing ATCs.
Alright.
Oh, that's pretty good. What?
Oh, there's just
You need to read it. If you're laughing, it's
I
probably
probably just
funny.
said scream dramatically and hit them with your pom-pom. Just talking to Eddie, because he's the one with the pom-poms.
He's the one with the pom-poms?
Yes, he's the Jenkins cheerleader.
Rah, rah.
Yes.
All right, well, let's try a whole different... Okay, we want opaque this time, right? But we still have to use this stuff, which is not opaque. But what we're going to do is we're going to use a... Where's my Naples? There. No, that's not.
Len says you could have had the frogs looking through little windows if you left the squares there. Like, what you doing?
Hey.
Hey.
Any bugs? I'm the bug dude.
Yeah.
Okay, this is about as opaque as you can possibly get.
Eddie says he can't get his leg up that high anymore.
All right, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think that that stops about age 30.
Well, you know,
I could probably still do one.
my problem anymore is it's not necessarily my leg, it's my knees that allow me to...
Yeah.
All right, now before you get all excited about cleaning that off, you know, you want to kind of... Oh, look, see?
Yeah. She enjoys this.
We ain't done yet. Now this particular technique is very technical.
This technique is very technical. This is a technical technique if y'all didn't know it.
Yeah.
The reason that we know is because she said so.
Yeah. You hold your plate up and you look at it from the other side, because that's where your business is going to be happening.
That's where the business happens.
That's where the business happens.
Oh, if you only knew like the things that were going on in the chat and what has, there's just, it's funny.
This is kind of reedy. Reedy.
Reedy. Like,
maybe those frogs are crawling around, amongst
yes.
the plant, the vegetation.
Yes. Side of the pond kind of business. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello, Hoarder Paper Crafts. Will you please tell me your name again? I think you have told me before. And welcome.
All right, now we're going to pick it up again because we want to know. Can you see the white underneath? So that we've got some room for some froggies, and I'm still seeing some, really. That Naples is not necessarily, would be my go-to.
Oh, that's good. Well, we have some, yeah, and we see one. He lives in our, in our Norfolk. Or used to.
Yeah, I saw him climbing the wall.
But yeah, we got a little green tree froggy. Well, Kiko, you're kicking butt. She loves aerobics and she can do over 2 hours straight.
Who is this?
A Kiko.
Wow. How old are you?
Hey, there's that one lady that like can still like roller skate and do all kinds of things.
All right, now I decided I don't need this. So I'm going to go ahead and get it braided off. Oh, interesting.
Oh, she's 35.
No, well, you're just...
yeah. You're younger than I am. I didn't know that.
A young chicken. Okay. Now we're going to let that set up. I like it. I think it's going to be interesting. What are you chuckling about?
Let's see here. I cannot read what Lisa Mingus says.
Would it call in some other? Here, this is from the ATCs and the colorgraph.
Well, I think if I read it, actually, most people, like, you have to know something.
What? What are you knowing?
Like, you have to know a particular song. I think that's what Lisa Mingus is referring to. I'm pretty sure. I'll let her confirm that.
Okay. I'm just having a really good time with this. I don't know if y'all are having a good time with this.
I'm getting froggy with it.
Getting froggy with the little... Oh, wait, that's not Jenkins. Let's stay low. We need some Jenkins. I'm telling you what, I really like this color a lot.
Jenkins.
And I do still want some Titan light, whatever that stuff was that Fran was using the other day.
Oh, yeah, the pale green.
Mm-hmm. And let's use a little iridescent. I've never used that before.
I'm telling you, she's feeling better.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, when you just kind of have that achy, especially like teeth thing, you may not really think that it's bothering you that much, but really it is. So, I'm very happy. I told her that I thought she was definitely in better spirits, and certainly she found me very funny the other day, and I appreciate that.
Oh, I did it. Almost laughed until I wet my britches. I can't remember. What were we?
Well, there's a couple times I got you pretty good. Now this is for real, like, Sgraffito.
And you just, the whole thing about it is you just never know what it's going to do.
Yeah.
It's just one of those.
Well, Sgraffito in a crazing situation.
But look how cool that looks.
Mm-hmm. Because it's kind of different than when you use just a paint that isn't going to craze.
Yeah. Yeah, because this stuff works every time. I mean, I can't predict how it's going to craze, but I can tell you it will.
Yeah.
It's the particular pattern. It just depends on how, and I'm not coming with anything else. I'm just going to leave this on here and, later come back in with my froggy, which he may be looking up like this right down here. But wow, those are still wet. That's because I used that deck.
The Da Vinci.
No, I used my open.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
But I like this, and I like what's happening here. But you've seen it now, and when you see it again, it may not even look like that. It may look totally, totally different.
If you hear panting, that's Mazzy. Oh, yes. And Robin, you can even just get the Play-Doh tools. Like, you don't have to get the Play-Doh sets.
Yeah. Okay, this is still wet, y'all. So we may have, this might be something that we're doing at another day.
Fran just said, I swear I hear doggy breathing. And that's why I was like, yeah, that's Mazzy.
Mazzy.
She came upstairs. It's hot outside. She's old. She came up the stairs.
And pretty soon you may hear a really horrible sound of nails on the wall as she...
No, she's facing the other way. That has been driving me crazy, that when she hits her nails on the wall. It's like...
Yeah, she kind of scrapes them. It's not really the wall, it's the, what you call that? The board around the edge of the room. Okay. All right.
Baseboards.
We're going to try to get some sunshine onto this.
Oh, okay. So good ideas. Sculpey tool sets. Those work really nicely. Kelly says thank you. And then Paula says the score knife that comes with your scoreboard, if you have one of those, is similar. Oh, fondant tools. Yes, for those of you cake makers.
Oh, yeah, these silicone jobber things.
Oh, yeah, those things are fantastic. Actually, I should put a link to those, because...
Yeah, we like those a lot.
those come in handy for all sorts of things.
All sorts of things. No, I don't want to use any of that. I want to keep this light and airy. Because this one's going to be... And remember, this one has dried for many days. The one that I'm working on right now. Many days it has been dry. Well, I can see you want to make sure that you're using a dry, because look how I'm having to mix that. Because it's leaving little wads of stuff. And it's making it very velvety. And I don't want it to be very velvety. I want it to be, I want some more of those highlights to show through there. So I'm coming back with more of my, and that's way more than I needed. Let's see if we can get that to start doing it. It may be too late. I've already added that other stuff that has binder and blah, blah, blah,
So it's so funny, because I can never find the same one twice. But... if you just want the little mini spatula ones, and then it has a rounded end, which would work.
Yeah, I like this rounded edge. That's just what I'm
Well,
using here.
I'm talking about the silicone tools, because I think that, look at your little green one, your little spatula. I think the end of it would work similarly.
Let's look. Oh, yeah, and see where I'm interrupting it?
Okay, perfect. Then I'll put that link in. 1 second, y'all.
Yeah, because this really, and I like the long, you won't be dragging your sleeve through the gravy.
It's important.
Ah, look at that. Can you see it?
That looks fantastic.
That's some froggy stuff, and I'll probably take 3 days to dry. We may just be making backgrounds today. I don't know that we're going to get to any of the actual factual.
Actual factual. Oh, yes, if you have your crochet hooks. I think that would work fine. Those rounded parts of them.
Yeah, you just want to make sure you're not using anything that's the least bit
Pokey.
pokey.
We had the weirdest clouds yesterday. Did you see them? Did you go out?
Yesterday, no, I didn't. Ooh, this is...
So they were almost like, it looked like kind of bubbles or like, you know, water balloons were just sort of, you know, all clustered together, but that's how the clouds looked. It was very interesting.
All right,
Cloud formation.
we're gonna allow this to kind of do a bit of whatever it's gonna do here before we start working it.
Yeah, yesterday, Candy, it said that it was 82, but feels like 92 due to the humidity, which
I
it
didn't
was.
stay outside very long at all yesterday. I
was
watered early and came in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and see, Sonia's in San Antonio. Yeah, it's going to be a hot one today.
This is not moving along as quickly as I wanted it to, so I'm just going to help it.
Help it.
Just, you know, random squiggly. You don't even have to have them everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Niecy. What is it? Mammatus clouds? I figured there was probably a name for them. They were really interesting looking. Izzy kept saying. She's so funny because she she really wants to be a part of the conversation and be informative. And so it's really funny when she does it because she's very like, now you know that like over here there's gonna be some stuff that like comes down like this. Mom, are you looking? Are you listening to me, Mom? It's very funny. Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave that.
Yeah.
Because I think...
You kind of got
I don't know.
landscape of some
A
scenery
little bit,
set up.
yeah, yeah. Then we'll just have to see what happens with these. Okay, I'm just going to go till I've got them all full. Because I think it's really... I think that we're getting some good stuff here. Don't leave your brayer down on your paper. If you do, clean it off. Okay. Yeah, some more ATC stuff.
Silicone nail tools.
Oh.
Yeah, Lynn says she loves them.
Well,
Candy agrees, yes. Silicone nail
I
tools
say
work
just,
great.
go down in your cabinet.
Check out what you got in the kitchen.
Yeah, before you buy some stuff.
Oh, that's good. The smoke is cleared. Yeah, I saw that on the news that it was a lot better.
All right. Well, what haven't we tried here? Ow. Let's
Mom,
try some.
Mammatus.
Let's try some gold.
Mammary. Yeah, I was boob clouds. That made sense to me. They did look very booby-like.
Well, mammillaria. Yeah, mammals. Mammary glands.
Yeah.
Boobs.
Yes, Mama.
Okay. Whoa. Keep forgetting that comes out like that. I don't know why.
Yeah, that was quite a bit for that little plate there. Oh. Fran's not feeling well, I think.
Oh, bummer. Well, I'll tell you what. I was really going to try to give it a whirl the other day. I thought I could do it. Well, I didn't realize that they were, going to go in there to the extent that they did. Oh, I wanted to make sure that you knew this is one of my batik scarves.
It is
about the only one I have left.
The rest are hanging on the wall.
Yeah, they have another form. And the really good ones I gave away.
I don't know why you did that.
I know.
I'm just a little dum-dum.
For sure. This is kind of cool. Look how it's pulling. The little cells are pulling to the outside. This is nice. I kind of want to interrupt that just ever so slightly here. I mean, it might do it on its own.
You like to give it encouragement.
Yeah.
Oh, Candy says she wants to know, has anyone run a toy truck across their plate to get the tire tracks?
I don't know if I thought about. I've not done that. No.
We have some. Those ones down Izzy's toy box.
Mm-hmm. That would be very interesting. I'm sure. Okay, that's some interesting stuff there. This is a little blocky.
Oh, you're not ill. It was due to the outside temperature. Is that what I'm understanding here? Fran's fine. It was just hot outside. I think that's what she said.
Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. That's looking quite nice.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, here, this has already got some stuff on it. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, I know. This was the one that I was using to get all the edges of my cards.
Oh, that's what it's like. Yeah, it's like brush strokes, but
Yeah. Now, I don't know if it's going to craze because it's already got that layer of stuff down there. We shall see. It's really not.
I think you're gonna have to dig deeper to.
Okay, well, FYI, if you already have something down, you're probably not going to get a lot of.
Yeah.
Well, simply because we're.
The reason you get the crazing is due to the oils from the plate. If you have blocked that, it is less likely
With the paint.
to happen.
But we'll just create some more nice little textures to work with here.
Oh, Izzy has some of those. So you can find, like, in clay tools, or Play-Doh tools. I mean, they're gonna be probably pretty kitty-like, but she has some little roller tools, stamps.
Oh, yeah. All right. Now what?
I don't know. You got 30 minutes.
Well, I'm sure we can make something happen in 30 minutes, surely. All right, let's...
You think any of those are gonna be able to put down another?
No.
No.
And the reason is because it's, you have those, it's really thick paint.
Stayed
some
up too
places.
late.
But I was talking about the one that Eddie had to separate very carefully because it was stuck together.
Yes.
That's one of these kind of prints.
Ah, they stay sticky.
Mm-hmm. They do. I'm just going to have this one ready because I know that I've got way too much goopy goo.
Yeah, there's a lot of
going
goopy
on
goo.
out here.
I mean, it's a puddle.
Puddle with a muddle. But that's some interesting stuff.
That's some interesting stuff. Careful, it's getting frothy and smushy over there.
Well, we're going to have to help that little bugger out a little bit.
Yeah, it just kind of
Because it
created
kind
a
of
little.
just wadded up there and, Okay, well, I don't think that that is such a good one to use if you want to get the little cellular membranes going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems to have a dampening effect to that.
Yeah, and as Robin kind of confirmed there, so yes, the oil, the more recently your plate has been conditioned, or this is a lot of times why on a brand new plate, you will tend to see more crazing. The crazing also tends to happen more so with any of the fluid or more fluid type paints. This is why you'll see it happening with kind of those cheaper shuttle art paints. They're very fluid. And also then with the golden, like fluid acrylics and high flow.
Yeah. That looks cool though. Okay, so to just recap here. This one that I used here. This works. These are the two colors that I mixed.
Oh, show them fluid acrylics.
That's any of the ones that have the pointy cap.
Well, and
This is high flow acrylic.
or then fluid.
And then the fluid is less. It's
They don't
fluid acrylic, but it's not quite so soupy.
Yeah.
Watery. Yeah. But mixing this little bit of this folk art, boy, and the reason I'm pushing this is because I have about 6 of these left that someone sent me. It kind of takes that away. So this plus this loosey-goosey stuff allows you a nice Sgraffito surface.
But less crazy.
Less crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. And I think these definitely will be a nice, because it's got a little bit of, you know, metallic-y stuff going on there because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where did that go? I'll start getting these out of...
And a lot of these terms that we use, which is pretty funny, that, you know, we've kind of mixed mediaed in to the gel printing, are terms from pottery.
Yeah.
Because Sgraffito is actually like when you carve into the clay.
Yeah,
Crazing is what certain...
happens when you add, and what the way you get it to craze is you use an oil. And then you dip it in...
Right, when you're glazing.
Glazing your pottery.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of the tools that you can use are ones from...
I use this thing a lot. This is a clay tool. I want to take some clay classes, but I can't. I just refuse to drive to Dallas. I don't want to do that because I know they're probably going to be night classes, and number one, I don't drive at night.
She doesn't really drive during the day.
No, not unless I absolutely have to.
I mean, we could go together. I think once Izzy's a little bit older, you and I could go and do some things like that, but...
Well, even, you know, she gets old enough that I used to take you all the time. You were in kindergarten. I used to take you to my studio classes because I had to.
Yeah.
We didn't have any childcare there. All right, we're going to use a little bit of this.
I think I was a little more well-behaved than our darling Izzy.
This is true.
I had a meaner mommy.
You did. I was like, if you'd like to do this again, you better be sitting down and behaving yourself and taking care of your business because I do not have time to be messing with you. I got things to do here, sister.
I can kind of remember being camped out underneath those tables.
Yeah. And then I raccooned her pot.
She did. Still have it.
You burned my pot up, Mommy.
Black it. It was so pretty.
Oh, you know, all those
Happy color.
fart and rainbow kind of things.
Hey, Debbie.
All right, I'm just gonna let this one kind of do its own thing because it seems to be, you know. And it's light enough, I think I can, you know, get a froggy imprint. Boy, this looks so funny looking over here because all of these are so. Okay, well, I think we've used them all. Oh, no, here we got one more. This has already got some stuff on it. Don't know if I care. Yeah, let's just go for it. Now, you see that one little drop? It's pretty concentrated paint. I think the reason that we got this is it was on sale. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Even with that other stuff down there. Okay, I don't want this globby business right here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I was kind of trying to read up here and see what was going on. So, Akiko kind of had some questions regarding, like, mixing paints and things of that nature, and that was really good. Candy had said that fluid acrylics have additives that make them thinner but maintain their pigment. You can get them in other brands besides Golden or make your own, and that's true, and you can mix all sorts of paints. I mean, as long as they're acrylic paints, they're probably going to mix well with one another-ish. We have noticed certain paints that they act a little weird with one another.
Yeah, they do.
Which is interesting. We don't always understand that, because you would think that some of the, you know, the base added, or the mixers, right? What do you call that? What am I trying to say? Even like the flow additives. You know, what they're supposed to be able to do is suspend the pigment in different ways. Like you have the heavy body, you have the, you know, the mediums that are going to make them thicker, but then some are going to make them thinner. But sometimes those don't always act well with one another, and they do weird things, like the crazing, which is sort of a good thing. But the crazing typically happens because of the oils that are coming out of the plate.
Yeah.
And then as discussed in the chat, yes, I mean, you can create resists even like with oil pastels. You can draw oil pastel with oil pastels on your plate. We've mainly done that more or less with doing the frottage, which is rubbings, and then coming in and putting it down. And then it sort of builds up on there and creates resists. So anything oily will create a resist, and whether that is something that you're going to apply to the plate or something perhaps that you already have on your papers.
It's going to resist.
And create some of that where it, you know, pushes out.
Well, I think that's interesting. Oh, I've got another. I don't know that I hate that. I'm kind of, you know, I don't like when I'm trying, but when I turned it over, can you see the sparkly stuff that's on there? And I don't think I can get rid of that because it's part of the, see that straight line there? That's okay. It'll work. We'll make it work. Okay, so what do we got here? Well, I think this is about it. I don't know what time it is, but...
So, that's kind of a good question. It sort of depends on the colors. It's just I'm guessing that all fluid acrylics are transparent.
No, that is not true.
They will have more of a Just because it's more fluid does not necessarily equal more transparent. That's more about the actual pigment that is in there.
The type of the pigment that is.
And obviously how layered it is too. Because even certain opaque paints, depending on how thin they are, there's going to be some transparency to them. But if you add it, you know, if it's really heavy, it's going to be fairly opaque. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, but
I think you're talking to me.
Even you know how I grab the high flow white because it's loosey goosey. Yeah, it has less opacity. Well, none of these frogs are really going to fit on this little booger babe. But I'm sure I have something that will. I'll just this will be our one off, and then I don't know what else I'm going to do. I don't have anything else lined up here.
I know. I think Tracy, that's one of the reasons that P really likes the gel plate is it has so many similarities to certain aspects of pottery.
I love pottery. It was probably my most favorite.
I think again because even you get a lot of iffy results, and I mean, and you can have something really beautiful. You put it in the kiln, and it's
yeah,
or you raku it, and then it's never the same. Hey, you brought it up.
I did.
You did. Brought it back
And
to my memories.
I knew as soon as I did, that it was like, okay, boy, we
I need
sure
to learn some
opening up that can of worms
forgiveness.
again. Yeah, I'll read that article to you again.
Childhood forgiveness about. I think I even had asked you, but Mommy, is it gonna be? You're like, you're gonna love it. I feel like there was this whole conversation. I felt so betrayed, and there was a lot of emotion behind that because I was just so proud of that little pot. It really is super cute, and it's still super cute, but it would have been even more super cute if it were bright and cheerful, not look like it was burned.
You burned it.
You burned it. And it ain't like toast. You can't just scrape it off.
I was not the least bit sympathetic to her plight.
She was not.
It's like, oh, for God's sake, would you just give it up? Okay, I know that. Yeah, all right, there's its little. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all the plates are full.
Okay. Yes, I will be on tomorrow.
Check this out.
I can't wait to show you the things that P has done in the C journal. I think we might be finishing up tomorrow. A lot of spraying is kind of my goal with it, and
maybe a few pages with some tissue paper.
Right, and some writing out some quotes and things. So I think I'm gonna need some. Sandy sent me some quotes. But if you guys want to message me or even leave them down in the comments here, I would love to pull those. Sea-themed, please. You know, keeping it sea-themed. But yeah.
Or fishing.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got 15 minutes, or do you just want to call it early?
I don't have anything else to use. I've used up all of my gel plates. Every single one of them.
And nothing you can put another layer on, or...
I don't think so.
Pull.
This is the problem with this. Is it? See this? Can you see the shiny? And even though it is shiny, but you can see the raised surface of the paint. It takes a long time to dry, so you need to take that into consideration.
Because it'll flatten out, is what she's saying.
It will flatten out somewhat, but it's still going to have a raised surface.
Sea or fishy, yes.
And these guys. I'd really like to take a little more time. This feels dry, but if I start brayering heavily on this, I'm worried about it. And I mean, I've got a lot of time invested in this little jobber.
And here's the thing. I think this to be true. Let's kind of discuss this for a second. If you hurry these layers and they do not fully bind and dry to one another, that's also when you can kind of run into some oopsie, oh shoot, why didn't it all come up at the same time? Because it hasn't fully bonded with everything underneath it.
Yes, and you're creating a possibility there for a dry. Remember what the invisible pulls? where the paint has not actually bonded to the layer that is underneath it. And part of what you do, and that's one of the reasons that you are pressing a lot when you use your bearing, is because you want to force those to bond to each other. If you have a bubble or you don't get it to push down,
Yeah.
then you are going to have that. And this will have a tendency more to do that because you can see right now. Can you see the layer, how it's sticking up? Am I holding it so that you can see that?
I think
It actually has, where that other paint is, it's a little thicker. So you want, when you get ready to do your bearing, you want to make sure that you've applied pressure because it's a lot like stencil. You got to get it down in there where those little raised spots are. And I will show you the others.
But yeah. So yes, you can put now. Fran uses her hair dryer, heat dryer thing. I mean, every time she does it, I say a little, prayer to the universe about her not lighting things on fire or melting down things, or whose it was it. P hates the dryer thing anyway.
I can't deal with
And
it.
then as far as like having a fan on it, maybe in a universe where we could fit something like that over there in her studio area, that would be fantastic.
Now you can see
Got
this.
that now.
It's still shiny. Well, it's still wet there. But I just...
And agreed. I think the natural drawing, once again, because if you speed things up, it still just
Well,
doesn't
here's the thing.
adhere.
You're going to be shooting that paint around. You can't
Oh, well,
use...
yeah, in the early parts of that,
Yeah.
for sure.
So that's not an option. Even
Yeah.
if I didn't absolutely hate those things. Okay.
Randy says, no problem using cool fan. I have used a gentle heat tool, only as hot as my hand can stand to the plate. But, well, if you can leave, if you can leave it, it gets bonded better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rather than
Okay.
forcing it
Yeah.
to hurry along.
Because I think what happens is like it creates just like a little skin on top because you're drawing that faster, and so then it's not
Underneath-
really like soaking in.
Yeah. You might want to think about that. I
Mm-hmm.
think that would definitely have an impact. I can see drawing papers.
Becky says your hair is super cute today. She did cut it.
I got it. Thank you.
I'm gonna get a haircut too. I haven't decided my new style, but
I told her, I said, I don't know why you don't just do something so that it looks like that without
so maybe
all that stuff on your neck, because she doesn't ever leave it down.
I like it when my hair has these little thingies here, but I may give that up, and I just want to shave it around and have this. She rolls her eyes. I don't know why she's hating on that.
She's going for the sumo wrestler look. She used to have that in high school.
I did.
I had pictures of it.
I did. I had like
I
a
don't
cute
think
swing
it's a-
bob, and then it was all shaved underneath. I don't know.
Well, I got some good...
Drying versus curing. Yes. You want it to cure versus just get it dry. All right.
And I think really in a way that you're retarding that underneath layer because you're not allowing it to dry at the same rate as the one that you just put on.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't think that's such a good thing. And these frogs need... Look, see, I'm still getting paint off of that one. So, they'll be nice and dry next time.
Eddie knows me. He said, "Yeah, an undercut and some Doc Martens." That's pretty.
Absolutely.
That's pretty nice.
And a baseball t-shirt. A baseball jersey thing.
Baggy pants,
And
ripped up.
Yeah. Yes.
I was very styling, more so than most people in Freona, Texas.
Well,
They didn't get me.
Yeah, they didn't. They certainly
I
didn't.
had a lot of access to MTV,
I didn't.
it had a
Really, I
very-
didn't. My feeling was, as long as she's covered, I'm good to go.
and I was like, I didn't.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I didn't have to fight her on the slut stuff. Because it was just like,
I had a lot
okay,
of
she
clothes.
was like way over here,
Yeah. This is
which is good because I probably wouldn't have been able to keep my mouth shut on the slut stuff.
it's very nice. Mother. Appreciate that. Okay, guys. Oh, I did too. I even still have some of my pants that I drew on. I tell you, Eddie and I, We could have been
Yeah,
real
yeah,
good
yeah.
friends.
Simpatico.
Yeah, I know. All right. We'll just end it a little bit early. No worries here. But yes, I will be back tomorrow. Show you all the cool things that we have done and P has done in
Oh, and
the
I've
Seaside Journal.
I've got something in the works that I've got to take care of. I don't want to show Mariah. I want it to be a surprise.
Oh, that's exciting. So surprise for tomorrow's Seed Journal business. Do come back. Leave comments. Leave me some quotes for the Seed Journal. That would be awesome. You can message me or leave them in the comments here. That would be totally fine and wonderful. But otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.